everyone would be the target audience. That's not true. Like toilet paper. Okay. Hopefully everyone uses toilet paper. I mean, whatever you do, none of my business.
Yeah, but let me even challenge that nowadays. Okay. Toilet paper.
I mean, that's what I was about to do, but go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go.
No.
Do it.
You do it. You interrupted me. Do it.
No.
Hey everyone, welcome to the S.O.B Marketing Podcast, where we celebrate the S.O.B that you are, and if you haven't figured it out yet, we mean small-owned business. We don't mean S.O.B.
Listen, we know that as a small business owner, you are working hard on the daily to keep your business fully operational while trying to promote it. And while some days it may feel like the business is owning you, if we're being honest with each other, I bet you would admit that you wouldn't give up the insanity for anything.
Our commitment here at the S.O.B Marketing Podcast is to give you the real talk, what works when it comes to advertising, marketing, promoting your business, and then what doesn't really work.
And Chelsea and I promise to always keep the conversation real. Welcome back, my friends, my little S.O.B, small-owned business friends. I'm here with my beautiful sister, Chelsea. Hey, Chelsea.
Hey, Vivian.
And we're back to deliver you guys another exciting marketing topic today. Before we get into our discussion, though, just a friendly reminder, if you guys want to share the love, if you want to show us how important we are to you, leave us a review, please. That will help put this podcast, this marketing podcast, in front of other small business owners who want to grow their business. So just spread the love and leave us a review. Also, don't forget to go ahead and hit subscribe if you're watching us on the YouTube channel, and follow us if you're listening to us via audio on any other podcast platform. So, Chelsea, what topic are we going to be covering today?
Okay, well, today we're doing marketing red flags. So these are things where if you're doing these, we need to have a serious conversation.
This is actually, you guys didn't even know, but this is an intervention. Okay? Like, thank you. Your family members reached out to us and they coordinated this intervention. So what are we intervening on behalf of?
We are going to be talking about some marketing red flags, some things that if you're doing them in your marketing strategy, you need to stop right now.
Yeah.
And we're going to explain why. We're going to talk about it.
Very quickly before we move on, though, Chelsea, typically we have a TLDL, too long didn't listen section. We're not going to have one for this episode, correct?
You know what? I will. I'll leave a little synopsis. I'll just name all of the red flags.
Perfect.
In the TLDL, but you're probably going to want to listen to the conversation to understand why they are red flags. So
TLDL, if you guys are in a rush right now, go skip to that chapter in this podcast. You're going to get the lowdown from Chelsea really quickly, and then return back and listen to the full-length conversation because you're going to want to get some of those details in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect. All right. What is the first red flag that we want to tell people they should not be doing in their marketing?
Inconsistency, Vivian. Inconsistency, whether that's your branding or maybe your marketing strategy. When you're being inconsistent, you're hurting your small business, specifically with branding. When you're inconsistent, you're hurting the credibility of your small business. And you're making it harder for people to recognize your content quickly. So branding, we're saying your customer voice, the type of verbiage you use, the colors, the types of font you're using, all of that stuff is important for branding. And we've done an episode on branding. So if you're feeling a little confused about what branding is, go listen to that episode. But again, the important part about, I feel like I've said branding way too many times now. I feel like I do this every time.
I'm not playing a drinking game.
Honestly,
I'd be on the floor.
Gosh, my bad, guys. But consistency is key. So people will recognize your content quickly so that they'll understand and recognize that you're a reputable brand.
Also, let me give you another perspective when it comes to being inconsistent. I don't like using the word train, but that's the only thing I could kind of think of. As a small business owner, you have to get yourself in the habit of being trained to do something. Okay, so let's say, for example, YouTube. I started a YouTube channel about 7-8 years ago. I knew from the onset that I had to get consistent in the scheduling, which is what led me to now having we have over 250 marketing videos
believe so,
on the Seasoned Marketer channel. The only way I could build up that library of videos is by posting once a week. And what that did for me as a small business owner is it forced me to come up with a weekly schedule where it was more muscle memory, write a script, record, edit, post. There's a process to it. And so I think when you're being inconsistent, you're not allowing yourself to be able to create that process that's going to help you to be way more efficient in doing the thing. Okay. So let's say, great, you don't want to do YouTube. Social media. If you've made it a point to say social media is going to be an important thing to my small business to be able to grow and promote my services and stuff, then you have to be consistent in showing up. So then you have to figure out what works for you. It used to be that some people would promote, plan out your entire month. We don't recommend that because that's not the type of creatures we are. That doesn't work for us. For us, now Chelsea does do like a monthly plan out, but it's mostly of the post and the ideas we have for reels. And then we go in and week to week, we'll actually create the stuff and post it, right? So her guidance gives us a inkling that, hey, we're going to stay on it. But then the work that we do is week to week because it's more manageable for us.
Yes.
So inconsistency is a big red flag for several different reasons. Branding, huge red flag. You're not letting people recognize your brand. You're not allowing them to kind of get a feel for what your tone and voice is. And then also, from any other marketing channel, if as a small business owner, you are being inconsistent, you're not allowing yourself to show up and do the thing.
Yeah. And like we said about training, you're also not training your customers or your target audience to recognize you, to interact with you if you're not being consistent.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So the next one that I'm going to cover is it's a big red flag if you think everyone is your target audience.
Ooh, this is a good one.
Yes. The reason this is a big red flag is because if you're trying to sell to everybody, you're not able to sit down and focus on the pain points of the people that are more prone to buy your product and service. All right. It just doesn't let you get that granular.
Yeah.
And I think when you're selling to everyone, you're tugged in so many different ways because you're wanting to appease everybody that then you're literally speaking to nobody.
Exactly.
Right? You're not standing out for any particular person.
I remember a discussion where my professor gave examples of everyone would be the target audience. That's not true. Like toilet paper. Okay. Hopefully everyone uses toilet paper. I mean, whatever you do, none of my business.
Yeah, but let me even challenge that nowadays. Okay. Toilet paper.
I mean, that's what I was about to do, but go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go.
No.
Do it.
You do it. You interrupted me. Do it.
No, okay. Well, even within toilet paper, there are, I'm just going to say it, we don't buy normal, like, Charmin and stuff. We don't we want the stuff that doesn't have like bleach and stuff in it. Okay.
Vivian does.
Yeah.
I just want to point that out.
Vivian does not buy, I will buy a specific brand of toilet paper that we like from Earth Fare because it doesn't have like the chemicals and stuff that I'm concerned about in other toilet paper. So even within the toilet paper realm, I get that the product is for everyone, but unless Charmin one day decides that like, hey, we're going to offer a brand of toilet paper that doesn't have X, Y, and Z in it, people like me will not buy their product, right? So it gets very granular. So
and that's the point that I was going to make. Like, even in those products that are for quote unquote everyone, you're getting specific about who your target audience is, because it's not all created equally. There's something that makes your brand stand out against the other ones. And that differentiation, sorry, I'm still on the Reddit episode, guys. So the episode before this one, I'm still heated about that one. But differentiation, what makes you different is what is going to change your target audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I do think, so the intervention here is if you guys are walking around thinking everybody's my target audience, we're intervening. We're saying, sit down and you need to reevaluate that. Chelsea and I had done an in-depth episode prior to this. Please go listen to it in regards to, what was the title of it? Was it target audience, like building your customer avatar?
Yes.
And it was very specific. What we talk about is the basic demographic information that people used to use. You can't just do that now because that's not in depth enough. Okay. Yeah. And in there, we share tips about like psychographic stuff that you need to be considering. Also the lifestyle people are living. These are all attributes that you want to be sure that you're thinking about when you consider your target audience, because it very much changes your messaging and the way you approach them. Because the other part of it too is, if you are not defining your target audience or your customer avatar with those types of details, you are not going to know where to show up to market to them.
Yeah.
Right? To reach them and to bring them into trying your product or service. Absolutely. So all of that is very important. Let's not do the generalization. You are not for everyone, you guys. Just as a human being, you are not for everyone either. There are people that are your cup of tea and people that are not, and that is A-okay. That's why you're here in this S.O.B community, because you're our cup of tea. All right?
Yeah. Vivian. You know what? I'm actually going to combine my next two.
Okay.
Because they kind of relate to each other. Poor analytics and ignoring customer feedback and data.
Okay, yeah. So it's all about the data in this one. It's
all about the data. Y'all, if you have listened to this podcast, you know that Vivian and I are very, very into data, very into analytics. You need to know whether something is working or not. If you have not set up a way to get good analytics, or maybe you're just not reading it, you're not looking at it, you're getting customer feedback, but you're not using it, all of that's a red flag. All of that is a red flag. I have, Vivian, a very dramatic example of this, specifically for ignoring customer feedback.
Okay.
Okay, so we remember I used to work for an allergy practice, right? We once created, the practice administrator and I created an anonymous questionnaire asking the employees for their feedback. We got the feedback, and the practice administrator went, all of this is very dramatic, and all these people are just putting bad things on here, so we're just going to delete the whole thing. I'm not even looking at it anymore. Y'all, if all of your feedback is bad, I feel like there's a problem. If the only type of feedback you got was negative, that is not the time to say, whatever, I'm going to throw it away and never look at it again. No. Listen to what your customers are saying. When you listen to what your customers want, and if it's feasible, of course, you do what they're looking for, they're going to stay customers. But if you have a customer who gives you feedback, maybe it's negative, sometimes that happens. If it's valid, if it's something that you're like, oh my gosh, I probably should fix this, and then you ignore it, that's just going to make your customer upset. Because they're going to know, I gave you that feedback and you ignored what I told you. You don't care.
Let's divorce the two. Okay. I want to divorce. Well, no. I mean, I want to divorce feeling from feedback. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm saying by that is, I think the best thing that you can do as a small business owner is just understand very early on that any type of feedback is just data. That's all it is. Okay. It's not personal. It has nothing to do with you. It's data. What you do with that data is up to you. Where you place that data is up to you. The gravity of that data, right? The weight it has is up to you. And so therefore, to your point, if you have, let's say, a survey that you send out to customers after they have purchased your service.
Yes.
And in return, you get something back. And it's something that, I don't know, you're like, oh, that was not good. All right. Instead of marrying your feeling to that feedback, divorce it and just say, like, I'm going to be Switzerland. Well, I don't even know if politically that's still the case. Okay, y'all. So I can't even say. I need to quit using that term, okay?
Okay.
Let's just say you're neutral.
The
data is not, it has nothing to do with you. It's talking about an experience that they had. Now, your job is, like Chelsea said, to go in and actually say, okay, what in that experience is factual? And at the end of the day, it's still an experience. That's the way the person perceived it, right?
Yeah.
So there's got to be some weight to their perceived experience.
Yeah.
So I think all data is great. And I'm glad you brought this up, because if you are in fact not receiving feedback, if you're not looking at your Google reviews, your Yelp reviews, if you are not in there looking at your analytics, then you're missing out on a really big opportunity to, for one, save money, because a lot of this stuff will eventually save you money, because once you fix it once, then you typically don't have to go back and fix it again, right? And also, let's talk about the fact that if one person has maybe thought it, maybe others have too.
Yeah. Thank you for saying the whole divide the feelings out of it. Y'all don't get butthurt about this stuff.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's all around. If you're still working a full-time job, if you have an evaluation, if you get an annotation on there that's not stellar and it makes you feel some type of way, I'm that person. I know I take that stuff, or I used to take it very personally. And then now I just look at it. I'm like, okay, it's information. I'm receiving information. Now I just have to decide where to place it and what to do with it, right? But it shouldn't play into like my feelings towards myself or whether I'm good or bad at something. It's all just information that you're figuring out, what do I do with it, right?
Yes.
And some of it, like Chelsea said, is going to be good, like good in the sense that you need to proactively work on it. And some of it, I don't know, maybe if it's coming from a person that's not exactly, you're like, okay, well, maybe I'm going to weigh that a little less and like, not give it as much gravity.
Yes.
As I want. All right. So my next one is making it all about you. And not your target audience. All right. This is a big red flag. I get that the purpose of marketing is to shine a light on your small business. And this is the case. Okay. However, just understand that you need to be focused on your target audience. Okay. So flip that focus. And if you're doing this right now, if you're like, hey, all my marketing is talking about my business, what my business can do for you, flip it and instead say, okay, my target audience, what pain points where are they at? Yeah. What are they currently experiencing, and what pain points of theirs am I addressing or resolving? You're going to go further doing that than you are just spitting out, this is my story. This is about us. This is how I built this business. That should be peppered in to your content, and it's great on the website. You need to have that included. That shouldn't be your only message.
Yeah.
Okay. Your message needs to reach back and find your target audience. And the only way to do that is to talk to them in their language through the experiences that they are having.
Yeah, that is a really good one. And I feel like this is a red flag that a lot of businesses deal with. Because we just forget about it. You're thinking, this is what I have to offer. Let me tell you what I have to offer. This is good information. And it is good information. But your target audience and people in general care about themselves.
Yeah. Well, and to me, I guess I always think about it like, let's say your target audience is moms. Okay. The thing is, you can't sit there and sell to them in a way where it makes them feel like you're judging them for something they're doing, because that is a quick way to get someone not to buy from you. Okay. And so that's the whole thing is, I guess that's where I'm saying, if you have your target audience in focus all the time and you're aligning with them, you're going to ensure that the way you present your business is going to reach them when they're open to it. Okay.
Yes.
Open to purchasing. And I think that's just a really important thing for a mom who is busy, who is maybe working and raising kids and perhaps has a relationship that she's also trying to be in. And she's also a daughter, and she's playing a lot of different roles. Her time is already valuable. Like you just have to approach them in a different sense, right? So it can't just be all about you, right? It's got to be you're helping them in some type of way.
Yeah.
And I know, we are still growing in this sense too, figuring out how can we best show up to reach small business owners and providing them what they need, and not so much worried about, which is why hopefully you guys will appreciate, we don't sit on here and talk about like, we have degrees in this and we do this and that. I mean, like to us, that none of that matters. And we've always told you marketing changes so much. Like you're only as good as like, what you're keeping up with.
Yeah. Stop wasting your time Googling how to market my small business.
Join the S.O.B community. Get templates, expert advice, weekly Zoom calls with us, and a supportive group of other business owners for, get this, just $50 a month.
Marketing doesn't have to be hard when you have help. Head over to www.school.com/SOB. That's SKOOL.com/SOB, all lowercase. Join today and feel confident in your marketing. So my next one is, Vivian, you're going to love this one.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Big red flag. If you are only focusing on new customers.
Yes. Tell me why that's a big red flag.
Okay, big red flag. First off, new customers, expensive. To get them through the door, it's expensive because you need to be advertising to them. You need to, those 6 to 8 touch points, which I did look it up to make sure this was still accurate. It is.
Okay.
6 to 8 touch points is what it takes before someone's willing to make a purchase from you. That's money. Yes. That's effort. Even if it's organic, you're still spending time to create that content. When you have returning customers, y'all, they're already in your ecosystem. They've already made a purchase. So it's going to be easier and it's going to take less for you to convince them to make a purchase again.
5 times less. Oops, sorry, y'all, if you heard that. That was my chin hitting the microphone. 5 times less. Okay, I just researched these numbers to get the most relevant information. So new customers are going to cost you 5 times more in marketing than just trying to bring a returning customer back. Look at it this way. I love my visuals. You have 2 buckets. Okay. One bucket is going to be the marketing efforts you're doing to get a new customer in. The other bucket is going to be marketing efforts that you are doing to bring a customer back. All right. And this is so important that you address both. You can't be lopsided on this. Okay. So that means, if you put a gun in my head and you force me to pick, I would say that escalated really quickly. I know. I would say pick like advertising or marketing to your existing customers, right? Because they know you, you're saving money. It's a little more familiar. But I do think that there's a healthy balance between focusing on both. You can do both at the same time. And it actually, you could probably do most of the stuff without a lot of money on the existing customer end. So
I have an example of this.
Yeah.
Do you remember, it's either AT&T or T-Mobile, but they had an entire campaign about the fact that the deals that they have for new customers, they also have for returning customers, because at the time Verizon was promoting so much all of their new customer deals that they were completely ignoring their current customers. And I really wish, y'all, if you watch this, I will add in here which company it was. I'll do the research. It's either AT&T or T-Mobile. It's probably AT&T. It was AT&T. One of the most popular commercials from that campaign was a salesperson. He kept having to flip the banner from one side to the other that said new customers, returning customers, but it was the same deal on both sides, just so that they could reiterate that they were offering the same deals to both recurring and new customers. They did an entire campaign talking about how, we treat our recurring customers, our current customers, as well as new customers.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I love that one as a red flag, because it definitely is a red flag if you guys right now are so focused on getting that new customer in and you're not doing anything to stay in contact, communicate, promote to people that have already bought from you, you are leaving money on the table.
Absolutely. Okay, what's your next one?
All right. So the next red flag is if you are not trying to bring people into your ecosystem, this is a big problem. All right. And you guys need to go to rehab for it. So this is the rehab. All right. So the rehab portion of this is to remind you guys all of the stuff that we had going on with the tiki-taki in early 2025, where it was shut down for a whole 2 days, Chelsea, and everyone
I think it was a whole day.
Yeah. Everyone was acting like the sky was falling, which rightfully so. If that's what your revenue is tied to, then, that's scary. So we want to just remind you, if you are utilizing social media, which wonderful, applause there. We think that you can reach a lot of potential customers on social media, but you are skipping the most important step, which is to transition them off of whatever social media platform you're doing and into your world of an email list, your world of perks, rewards, programs, whatever you offer. Try to get them over to your ecosystem, because you're just doing your due diligence in case the sky falls one day, people quit using Instagram. You want them to be in your system so that you can keep selling to them.
Yeah, Vivian, this red flag, I view it as, y'all, these are your customers. You should be in control. Reach them when you want to reach them. Do it on your terms, when you want, how you want to interact with them. This is about you being in control.
Absolutely. I love it.
Okay. Well, this is our last one now. So I specifically put red flag, only having sponsored content. And that is a red flag. But I want to elaborate and add to this a little bit more. Really, the big red flag is only having one kind or one form of marketing, only doing one thing. Do not put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, we've said this before. You guys, we have a YouTube channel, The Seasoned Marketer, outside of this podcast, where we upload informational, quick tutorials, videos on just general marketing stuff. One of the ones we did in 2025 was the 19 marketing channels that are available to you. Yeah. All right. The reason that we wanted to share that with you is because we feel like everyone's like social media, fabulous, except that you're excluding the 18 other opportunities that you have. And not all of them are paid. Some of them are, are free. Others, yes, you can invest a little bit of money. Others, you need a bigger budget, billboards, all of that stuff. To your point, Chelsea, is the name of the game in marketing is to diversify.
Yes.
And we just want to remind you guys of that. Look at it this way. If you were going gambling in Vegas, would you stay on one slot machine?
I mean, there are some people who, yes, would do that.
Okay, well, so we're encouraging you not to, okay? Like, go out there and marketing is not like gambling because you're going to get a return on investment depending on your copy, your ad, all of that stuff. So I don't want you to think that you're just throwing money away and you're just leaving it up to the marketing gods to, bring you some return on investment. That's not how it works. It's a little more scientific than that. And you can control a lot of the factors. And so you're going to get a return on investment across these 19 marketing channels. The name of the game for you is to figure out where do you get the best return on investment. Okay. So think about that. That means you should be experimenting. You should try some of these. You should see, oh, great. I did this type of ad or this type of marketing. It worked for me, but it didn't work as well as this other thing. So therefore I'm going to take the money from here and instead reinvest it there. You can only make those decisions when you try some of the other stuff.
Oh, absolutely. And going back, my original red flag was only having sponsored content. I do want to talk about that a little bit. If you have, let's talk about social media, since that's what everyone wants to talk about, and we just brought it up. If you only have sponsored content, if all of your content on your profile are just ads, it looks sketchy. It looks spammy. And it looks like you're not a real business. And yes, all of your content should be promoting your brand. But y'all, you know the difference between an ad and a piece of content.
Right.
An example, a great post to have on your social media is an introduction of who you are, what your brand is, what you guys stand for, stuff like that. That's not an ad. If you only have ads and sponsored content on your social media, it's sketchy.
Yeah. So basically what you're saying is if it's showing that all you're doing is paid advertising, but you're not trying any other type of like content creation or anything else, then it's just not, it's going to look weird to people.
It's going to look weird to people. It's going to make them uncomfortable. And remember, social media, you should have a strategy. Yes. Social media is effective when you are trying to connect with your audience. Trying to sell to them is not the same thing as connecting with them.
Yeah, there's actually a percentage rule, remind me, 70-30? That sounds, or 80-20, where basically 80% of your content should be trying to connect, speaking, focusing on your target audience, 20% of it selling your product or service.
That sounds correct.
I think it's 80-20.
But I'm not 100% sure. As soon as you say 80-20, the thing that I think of is when you create content, it should be 80% visual and then 20% copy.
Gotcha.
Which I wonder if that's still true.
Yeah, we'll have to look that up.
We'll look that up. We'll research it. Maybe if you're not following us on social media, go do that because I'll probably tell y'all the answer on there.
Yeah. Well, so I love that you brought this up because I do think it does kind of raise a concern if someone's only using one type of, if they're only doing paid advertising, right?
I know y'all know what kind of profiles I'm talking about.
Yes.
Okay. It's the ones you see the ad, you click on it, you go to their profile and you're like, well, this is all just kind of the same ad content.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I don't know if this is like a real legit business or not.
Yeah. I think that's a valid point. All right. So since that was our last red flag, hope you guys had fun in this intervention that we had here with you. But if we missed one that you think should have been on our list, if there's a huge red marketing flag that we didn't address, leave it in the comments. Let us know. Send us an email at help@theseasonedmarketer. We just love receiving feedback from you guys and having you guys be a part of the conversation as well.
Yeah.
So TLDL.
Okay, y'all. So TLDL, the marketing red flags we talked about today. Inconsistency, poor analytics, ignoring customer feedback or data, focusing only on new customers, only doing one type of marketing, or only doing sponsored content, not trying to bring people into your ecosystem, thinking everyone is your target audience, and making it all about you and not your target audience. So those were our red flags that if you're doing any of those things, do not. This is, as Vivian said, this is your intervention. But if you skipped ahead to this section, please go back and listen to our explanation as to why these are red flags, because that way, if you are doing these things, you can understand why you shouldn't be and how to fix it.
Yes. And as a reminder to all you S.O.Bs out there, small-owned businesses, we have free marketing resources outside of just this podcast. Yep. So let me just run through those really quickly. We have a weekly email list that you can sign up for. Go straight to your inbox. We send that out every Sunday. We also have a weekly blog post that Chelsea handles that's up on our website. We also have the Seasoned Marketer YouTube channel that has all of our tutorials and all that. And then, of course, we have the S.O.B community if you guys are looking for a little bit of that marketing support, but you don't want to hire a marketing agency. Every week, we hop on a Zoom call and Chelsea and I will answer any and all marketing questions that you guys have. We also hope that it's a great way. And I feel like the community members we have in there, we always ask them what their plans are for the next 2 months, just because that way we can show up, bring ideas, and also hold them a little bit accountable, right? Like, hey, remember when you said you were going to start your email list? Have you started your email list, right?
Yeah.
So all of that good stuff. Thanks for listening, and
go be the best S.O.B you can be.